Greetings, awakened soul to the unknown. Have you ever felt that there is something more, a hidden wisdom that permeates the very tapestry of existence? That behind the everyday, invisible forces shape our destiny? This journey is an invitation to unravel the veils of reality, exploring mystical teachings that have guided humanity for millennia. Prepare for a deep immersion in the eternal battle between the light of wisdom and the shadows of evil. From the oracles of ancient Greece, whose enigmatic words guided kings and civilizations, to the shamans of the Amazon forests who seek answers in communion with nature and the spiritual world, the quest for transcendental knowledge has always echoed in our hearts. It is an ancestral calling, an insatiable thirst to understand the mysteries that surround us, to go beyond what materialistic science can explain, and to find a greater purpose in our brief passage through this plane. But what exactly is this mystical wisdom, and how does it manifest in our lives in a practical and meaningful way? Mystical wisdom is not merely an accumulation of facts or intellectual information, but a deep and intuitive understanding of the interconnectedness of everything that exists. It is the perception that we are part of a vibrant and conscious universe, and that every choice, every thought, and every emotion resonates through its vast energetic web. It teaches us to see beyond superficial appearances, to listen to the inner voice that the Bible calls the voice of the Holy Spirit or conscience, and to recognize the truth in all things, no matter how it may present itself in disguise. But where there is light, there is shadow. Evil, in its mystical and spiritual sense, is not just the absence of good, a gap in morality, but an active and intelligent force that seeks imbalance, separation, chaos, and ignorance. It manifests as ignorance, fear, selfishness, vanity, pride, and the illusion that we are alone and disconnected from each other and from the source of everything. It is an invisible, cunning enemy that insinuates itself into our thoughts and actions, using our own weakness against us. If you feel compelled by these secrets and wish to continue unveiling the veils of knowledge, consider subscribing to the channel. By becoming part of our community, you not only support the creation of more content like this, but also ensure exclusive access to future revelations. Together, we can illuminate the darkest paths and share the wisdom that transforms. This duality between wisdom and evil is a primordial theme in almost all spiritual and religious traditions, from the Eastern yin and yang, which represent the opposite and complementary forces of the universe, to the Western angels and demons, who personify the battle between the divine and the profane. Humanity has always sought to understand this polarity. And the great revelation of all these traditions is that this is not just an external struggle fought on some cosmic battlefield, but a conflict that unfolds within each of us daily. The final and decisive battlefield is not the universe, but our own heart and our own mind. What you are about to hear may shake your certainties, because the truth about this battle is more intimate and personal than you ever imagined. The first and most powerful tool in the fight against evil is self-knowledge. Diving into our own psyche, confronting our shadows, understanding our deepest motivations, and recognizing our weaknesses is essential. Mystical wisdom teaches us that the true battle is internal, and victory begins with the truth about ourselves. How can you fight an enemy you don't know if that enemy has direct access to your greatest weaknesses and fears? The Bible exhorts us to examine ourselves. 2 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 5. Examine yourselves to see whether you are in the faith. Test yourselves. And that is the essence of self-knowledge. It is the foundation upon which all wisdom is built, for you cannot transform yourself if you do not truly know yourself. Pure intention is a mystical force capable of shaping reality. When we align our thoughts, words, and actions with universal wisdom and divine principles, we create a protective energy field around us. Evil thrives on confusion, malice, and duality of intentions, but retreats in the face of a clear and benevolent intention. Jesus taught us that our light must shine before men. Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. The light he refers to is not just an external act, but the reflection of a pure intention, of a heart that seeks God in everything it does. This intention is our greatest weapon against the deception and manipulation of evil. Throughout history, there have been groups and individuals dedicated to preserving and transmitting these sacred teachings. From secret orders like the Rosicrucian Brotherhood and the Essenes, to solitary hermits who isolated themselves in the desert to seek communion with God. They acted as guardians of wisdom, often in secret, protecting it from forces that sought to corrupt or destroy it, to keep humanity in ignorance. Their stories are whispers of a mysterious past, reminders that the quest for truth is a solitary and often dangerous journey, but one that is worthwhile. Symbols and rituals are portals to mystical wisdom, powerful tools that transcend verbal language and communicate directly with our unconscious. They access deeper layers of consciousness, connecting us to universal archetypes and primordial energies that give meaning to our existence. Learning to decipher them, to understand the language of symbolism, is to unravel a forgotten language capable of invoking protection and clarity in times of confusion. The Bible is full of symbols and rituals, from those of the Old Testament, such as the tabernacle and sacrifice offerings, to those of the New Testament, such as baptism and the Lord's Supper. They are not just empty acts, but vehicles of a deeper truth. Fear is one of evil's main tools, an illusion that paralyzes us and prevents us from accessing our true strength and divine potential. Mystical wisdom teaches us to confront fear, not to eliminate it completely, for it is a natural response to danger, but to understand it and transmute it into courage, prudence, and conscious action. The light of consciousness dispels the shadows of dread, just as the light of Christ dispels the darkness of the world. The Apostle Paul teaches us that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Fear is a trap, an emotional prison, and wisdom is the key that sets us free. The true battle against evil is rarely grand and dramatic. Often it is a silent struggle fought in the everyday. It is the choice to be compassionate instead of judgmental, to forgive instead of holding a grudge, to seek the truth instead of accepting a lie. Every small decision aligned with wisdom is a victory in the spiritual war. In our society, we are constantly bombarded with opportunities to give in to temptation, to anger, to envy, and to lies. The true warrior of light is not the one who performs great miracles, but the one who, in his heart, chooses light over darkness in every small decision. The path of wisdom is not easy. It demands resilience, perseverance, and a dedication that transcends convenience. There will be moments of doubt and despair when the shadows seem invincible. It is in these moments that faith and connection to the divine become our greatest allies, reminding us of the unwavering strength of the human spirit and God's promise that He will never abandon us. As we read in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 28, verse 20, "And behold, I am with you always to the end of the age." Mystical wisdom reveals that the universe seeks harmony. Evil is a temporary dissonance, a disturbance in the natural flow of existence. By aligning ourselves with this cosmic harmony, we become channels for light, radiating balance and healing to the world around us.
All of us possess an inner voice, a subtle guide that connects us to universal wisdom. Learning to silence the noise of the world and listen to that voice is a crucial step in our journey. It warns us of dangers, inspires us to act with love, and reminds us of our true divine nature, which is made in the image and likeness of the Creator. By embracing wisdom and confronting evil, we awaken the warrior of light who resides in each of us. This warrior does not use swords or violence, but truth, does not seek conquest, but liberation of self and others. His armor is compassion, and his shield, unwavering faith. The legacy of mystical wisdom is eternal, passed down through generations, through tales, symbols, and initiations. It continues to guide us. By connecting to this current, we not only honor the past, but also ensure that the flame of knowledge continues to shine for future generations. The true victory over evil is not individual, but collective. As more and more people awaken to wisdom, light expands, dispelling the shadows of ignorance on a global scale. Imagine a world where compassion and truth are the pillars of all actions, where selfishness and fear are replaced by love and unity. That is the promise of mystical wisdom and the hope of all humanity. Do not wait for wisdom to come to you. Seek it actively. Meditate, study, question, and observe. The fight against evil begins with your own transformation, and each step toward the light contributes to the elevation of all humanity. The invitation is now. The journey to wisdom is continuous and deeply personal, but it is also an experience that is enriched by being shared. Which mystical teachings resonated most deeply with you? Have you ever had an experience that illustrates the struggle between wisdom and evil? Leave your perspective in the comments below and help expand this essential conversation. Your contribution is valuable and can illuminate the path for other seekers. Together, we will continue to unravel the mysteries and strengthen the light of wisdom in a world that needs it so much.